Welcome to today's webinar. The topic today is considering extension during planning phase. My name is Andreas Hörold. I'm responsible for marketing and PR in the company Dlubal Software. For instance, the German and English webinars, technical content of the website, customer projects, newsletters, and so on. I will be the moderator today, and I will answer your questions during the webinar. My colleague Ulrich Lex will present the webinar in AFEM 6, and he will also use the add-on construction stages analysis. He's responsible for the development of this add-on and also for the add-on's masonry design and glass design, and he works also in the customer support team. Okay. I will show you how you can ask questions, at least for the attendees who participate the first time. At first, I will switch off my camera that you can see the full screen. Just press the button with the question mark, then enter your question in that field, press send, and I will receive your question and I will answer you. The other way is to watch the entire webinar and then email your questions to info@dlubal.com. Okay, that's at the moment all from my side. I hand over to Ulrich. Ulrich, it's your turn.
Thank you very much, Andreas, for your introduction. Hello also from my side to today's webinar of construction stages. Today we want to take a look on a small building. We want to take a look at the input and the modeling. We want to take a look at the different stages we have to consider. We have to take a look at the different load situations, how we can manage these load situations, these load cases in the different stages. And at the last thing, we want to take a look at the design, at the calculation and the documentation of all these things. There I want to switch to the program to AFEM 6 and I want to close this presentation. So for today's webinar I have prepared the main structure of the building. The building is a small building, maybe a living house on the one side and a garage on the other side. On this garage should be considered in the planning phase that the customer has the possibility to create a new living area on top of the garage. The difficulty is that maybe the concrete slab has to design on both load situations. There are different loads in the different at the different stages, and this is what we want to consider with the add-on construction stages. For a better overview, just a moment, I've created some object selections where we can show this second stage of an additional living room and the first stage, only the garage. For a better overview, I create as an example for today's webinar a second file where I have only modeled the garage and do not want to take a look today on this general building. That's why I switch to my second model where only my garage is created. So at the beginning, we want to take a look on the used add-ons in RFM. In the base data dialog, we see on the sheet add-ons that I use today the construction stage analysis and the concrete add-on. Later on, I want to use the multi-layer surface only to show some features. The other settings I do not want to take a look today. So what did I do as a preparation? I created the whole surfaces, the whole structure in RFM. When I switch off my selections, you can see that I create different surfaces also on the same place. I have on the one side the surface for this wall in stage 2, and I have the surface maybe for the handrail in stage 1. Here you have to be careful that these lines or nodes are not connected together. It should be a clear modeling in this case, that we really have we can have two different stages of this elements. On the top, I created a load for the roof. I created the load transfer surface. What transfers the load to both beams, and these beams are loading my walls. So on the first stage, I only want to have this handrail. Maybe it's like a roof on the roof. And in the second stage, I want to have an additional living room. So on the slab above the garage should be also in the second stage an opening for the stairs. And in the garage should be added in the second stage an additional wall too. So that are the main things what I did before. If you have done this, then we can start with preparation of the load cases. There I want to open my load case dialog. We also have to be careful that we create the different loads in different load cases. Later on, we can consider these different stages in the design situations. The design situations create then load combinations for the design. This is done automatically, but we have to decide, or we have to create the load cases. That means I create now one load case for my self-weight. I activate only my self-weight, add a comment. This should be acting in stage 1 and stage 2. And add this on the comment. If you add here a comment, you see it also in the description of the load case. So as a second load case, I create maybe a load for the slab above the garage. So this should be acting in stage 1. So in stage 2, there should be acting a different load. That's why I need garage, maybe living as a living room, and this should be acting in stage 2. Just back, because I had to create a new one. And this should be acting in stage 2. These comments are only for my sorting, that I know later on which stage this load case should be acting. So as a last self-weight load case, I need one for the roof. And this should acting in stage 2. As a live load, load case, I have one again for stage 1 and the second as stage 2. For stage 1 we can also use here the category of roofs. So, and as a last load case, I want to create a snow load. Acting in stage 2. So my load cases are created. I can consider this OK and can assign my loads. I want to start in load case 1. Load case 1 was only my self-weight. I do not have to consider any other one. Load case 2 was my loads on the garage, on the roof of the garage. Here I want to create a surface load with 2.3 kilonewton per square meter and assign it to my loads. I do not want to consider the loads in the garage today for our example. Okay. So as a next load case is the garage as a living room. Here I want to use 1.45 kilonewton. I have to use it here. Okay. And in the same, I had again my 0.3 for this part of the structure in stage 2. So as the next one, I have to consider this roof, but sorry, again a surface load as 1.9 kilonewton in stage 2, and I had to load these both surfaces and the top. Okay, the next load I want to consider is my garage load in load case 5 as 4 kilonewton maybe. And you see, when you created this object selections, then you can switch easy between both stages before the stages are created. Okay. And as a next part, the load case for stage 2. Here I have one on the one side, my 4 kilonewton, and on the other side, a smaller value. And in the new living room. Okay, so the last missing load case is my roof, my snow load. Today I want to create only a surface load 2. Here we could use easily our just a moment. Here, okay. Here we could easily use our load wizard for snow loads too. So now I'm ready. I'm ready with the creation of the loads. Then we can continue. We can continue with the creation of the different stages. If the add-on construction stages is checked on, then we have in the navigator, in the data navigator, the new option for construction stages. Here we can create a new one. As a first stage, I want to add my surfaces. What we have active in the first stage. Here I can check on surface and add some surface. I can switch to my object selections and select all surfaces for this stage. I can add all members. No, members we do not have in this stage. I can create all nodal supports we do not have. We do not have line supports here. The surface supports are always activated when the surface in this stage is active. So as a second stage, I have to create a new one. Here I can decide if it's a completely new stage, or if this second stage is following the first stage, so that I have some surfaces activated or not. In our case, I want to follow the first stage and have to modify the surfaces. Here I have to deactivate some surface. When I take look, I want to deactivate this surfaces for the handrail. Okay, and I have to activate some new surfaces. And this all these surfaces of the living room. Here in the middle is one, and the second one, and here's the third one, and in the ground floor an additional wall. Here you see it is important that all objects are created before, because when we have to change something afterwards, then it would be very unclear what is added, what is not added, what is acting in each stage. So it is a better way to create all objects before you create the different stages. Here you can continue with OK. In the second stage, also the members on the roof are active. Solids we do not have. Line supports we do not have. Then we can continue with OK. And the different stages are created. We see stage 1 and stage 2. These stages are now created also in the overview here. And if you click on this stage, you see also when my object selections are off, you see when you click on these stages, always what is active in this stage and what not. Here I see in my second stage that the load transfer surfaces are missing, and my surface from my opening from the stair is not there too. So I have to modify stage 2. I have to go to surfaces. I have to add here both surfaces on the roof, and I have to deactivate the surface in the slab. Okay. Now I can check it again. And here I see the opening is there. And in the stage 1, it is not. So this is an easy check if everything is okay and not. So on this stage, we can also take a look on the FE mesh. You can take a look on the FE mesh settings. You can maybe change the default settings. I used here 0.3 meters, and take a look if it is possible to create a mesh, if it's some modeling. This is a hint if the modeling is okay or not. When the mesh could not be created, then there is something wrong in the modeling. So this is a good check if everything is okay. That's why I want to create it. And then I can display my mesh. The mesh looks good. So the modeling was successful, I would say. Can also take a look on the second stage. The modeling is also, the mesh is also good too. As a next part, we can go to our loads, load combination, load cases and load combinations. Here we have created our load cases with comments. So as a second step, we should assign the load cases to the different construction stages. For this, we go to the part construction stages. And here we start with stage 1. We can say, okay, my load cases, here is load case 1 acting. Here is load case 2 acting. Load case 3 and 4 are not acting because here I see it on my comment. It is load case 5 acting. And the other 2 load cases are not acting. The same I can do for stage 2, where I have the load case 3, the load case 4, the load case 6, and the load case 7. Now you can see, because load case 2 is in self-weight or is permanent in stage 1. So this would be acting in stage 2 again. That's why I can here say the status is not active, more it's inactive in stage 2. Because load case 2 should not be acting. Instead of load case 2, it is load case 3 acting. For the live load, it's not necessary to deactivate this load case because this is not permanent. So this is not acting automatically in stage 2. Here I could add it when it would be acting, but it does not in our case. So now when I take a look on the stages in the graphic, I can see my different stages with the loads. With the different loads are acting. This is on the first thing, and here's the second stage. So as the next part, I had to decide for what stage should be the design should do. There I can, or this I can do with the design situations. On the design situation, I can set that I can do the settings that the construction or that one construction stage is acting. Here I have two different design situations, one for the ULS design and the second for the SLS design. Here I can now use a combination wizard, go to the detail setting of this combination wizard, and can say I want to consider some initial state for this on this wizard. On this initial state, I want to consider my stage 1. Can say OK, and add here again my comment stage 1. Here I can create just a moment here as stage 1. Here I can create a second wizard with a copy of the first one and say, okay, here it's stage 2, and change my initial state from stage 1 to stage 2. Okay. So I have now design situation 1 and 2, where I want to consider my stage 1. Now I can create a copy of both design situations and can say, okay, for design for situation 3 and 4, I want to consider stage 2. What is the program doing? When we take a look on the load combinations, we can see that a lot of load combinations are created automatically. As the first load combinations are CO1 till CO4 are created. These are created from design situation 1. It is considered as construction stage 1. For combination 5 till 14 is the stage 2 considered. The combination 15 and 16 are internally created, that it could be considered here on the special options. Here you cannot change it because it is created automatically with this combination wizard. So, and this is the option that I can these different stages, or that I can design these different stages when I create additional design situations and therefore create additional load combinations for the different stages. Okay, there we can continue with OK. And we can compute our load combinations. Now I compute only one load combination. So, but I can continue with calculate all combinations. You can see in the calculation process that all combinations are computed, and later on the concrete design is done. Here I did not take a look at it. I will do it now. So if the calculation is finished, we can take a look on the results. Here we can also see, or we can see again, that maybe for combination 2, this stage 1 is considered with loads and also with surfaces, and also for maybe combination 5, where stage 2 is considered, that the surfaces for stage 2 are considered. Here you can check the results as it is used in RFEM. You have all deformations, you have all internal forces, you can check all stresses. You can take a look on the final results, or you can change to the different stages, to the difference of the results. It's up to you. So what we see in the calculation dialog before, that the concrete add-on was running too. So for the concrete running, it is necessary that you do in the surfaces settings for the concrete. You have to define the properties for the design. You have to create the reinforcement, and you have to choose configurations, design configurations. But I do not want to take a closer look today, because we have many webinars for concrete design on this part. So this was done myself before, so that the design or the calculation was running. You can also see when we take a look on the concrete add-on, when we take a look on the input data, that all design situations are checked on to design, so that the stage 1 and the stage 2 are designed. This is a benefit of the add-on construction stages, that we have both situations, or that we can design both situations in one file. You do not have to use two different files and compare the results. It is here possible to use one file and design here these two different situations with different geometry maybe and different loads. So as the last part, I want to take a look at the printout report. Here we can open a new printout report. When we create a new printout report, then there are a lot of tables, a lot of things are by default in the printout report. You can choose it by remove it from printout report or check it in the dialog what you want. For the different stages, they are documented here by tables. Here it would be necessary or sensible when you add additional two different pictures, that you can see the different stages, what is active or not. Also, is it here good for the loads? When we take a look on the load cases, on the different loads, set all loads. Where is it? It's not here in the moment. Just a moment, I have to open it again. That the comments of the loads are documented in the printout report too. Here you can see, you can edit the printout reports when we have the loads. Okay. Then these comments are printed too, and you can see which load case is acting in the different which load case is acting in the different stage. Here also the construction stages. A table for the construction stages where you see which load case is acting for it. So as a last part, or as a last thing what I want to show you today, is an additional option what you can do additional. It's when I take a look on the slab above the garage. Here you can when we take a look on the base data and when we activate the add-on multi-layer surface, then it is possible to create the thickness of this surface of this concrete slab as a layer. It's maybe useful when the slab is on the one part a finished part or finished concrete part, and the second thing, in situ concrete slab. Here you can define different layers, maybe 70 millimeters for the finished part, and 180 in my case for the in situ slab. And if you do it here as two different layers, you can create a thickness type. It's called fází thickness, where you can say, okay, it's only the first fází is active. I have this fází thickness. Here I have the parent thickness, my thickness number 7, and only layer number 2 is active. Here layer 1 and 2 is active. I want to say, okay, only my layer 2 is active. And this I could use in the add-on construction stages too. When I create here a new stage, I mean, when you want to do this, then it would be more comfortable when you create this as a first stage. But it's no problem that we do it here now at the end. Then I can create here a new, or I can create a copy of the stage 1. I can say, okay, surfaces are, and I can say, okay, this stage 1 is then following the stage 3. Here I had to add surface. Okay, I had to delete it here because it is active. And here in my third stage, I have now the possibility to modify the properties of the surface. I want to choose now my concrete slab in it's here, and this one. Okay, I want to do a modification. I want to modify the thickness, and my thickness, my original value is the layer number 7. And in stage 1, it should only acting my fází of this 70 millimeters. So when this can I do as a first stage, where I can say, okay, I have this finished part of the slab, and the second part of the slab is an in situ concrete. Here I can continue with OK. the results are deleted, and then it would be considered for this lab only in the first part only the 70 millimeters of the concrete. Here I had to do some additional things. I do not want to do it now. It's only a description. I could create a new load case where I for the additional load for the in situ concrete. I could here add also new line supports for maybe the construction for the stage. For the working stage, I would say, or for the building stage. So, and this I could add in the stage. Here is the stage. The line supports are acting, and I had to say in the stage 1 that all, I can do it easier, line supports, and in the stage 1 I want to deactivate this line supports again. Just a moment. Yeah, line supports. Okay, just copy. And here I had to line supports and want to deactivate it again. Okay. Then I have the stage 3 as an supported surfaces, and in stage 1 it's my concrete slab again. So this is all what I want to show you. I want to say thank you for listening, and I want to give back to Andreas.
Thank you, Ulrich, for your presentation. I have an additional hint for you. You can book our online courses, for example, for RFEM 6, that's a course for beginners, Eurocode 2 for the reinforced concrete design, Eurocode 3 for the steel design with RFEM 6, and for the Eurocode 5 for timber design, and there are also course packages. For more information, you can scan the QR codes, or you can click at the buttons on the bottom here. Yeah, and there will also be the prices on that page where the links lead to. Okay, that's also all from my side. I thank you for your attention. Thanks to Ulrich for the presentation. I wish all a nice rest of the day. Maybe we meet each other in a future webinar. Bye bye.